right. Is that I don't know. I haven't done this on my phone, so I don't know if it's good audio or not. Is it
No,
good?
you should be fine. Sure, you're good. You're good. What's up?
I'm a little nervous right now, but so okay. First of all, I just want to
Okay.
say
Okay.
that I don't disagree with your take, like your position on the stance. I just think that how you went about arguing with Ween, or I guess talking about his video, was pretty dishonest. Like you employed really bad
Why?
faith.
Like what?
Well, I mean, okay, so for the most part, when he talked about referring to like toxic behavior from the LGBTQ community about how they don't kick like bad apples, and you said that you just haven't seen it personally, right?
Well,
Which
what I said was that there isn't really like a organized online community. It's mostly just
right,
people.
right, right.
Hold on. It's mostly just people with like, oh, I'm gay or like a gay pride in their bio. Same thing with people online that
Mm,
are like part of the BLM. There's no real
right.
organized community of anybody. It just it you.
So but that's not really what I'm referring to
Oh,
because you
well, that
you
was my
said
argument.
that right, but your argument was also that you haven't seen this type of behavior personally. And
Well, sure.
to talk about what you said that there isn't like an organized community, while that is true, I still think that if you see like if do you think that it's sort of in your responsibility to like if you were a part of a community or a group of people with the same label as you to maybe call out people, right, who are acting uh you know badly, right?
I guess
Because
so.
like,
Sure.
right. So even if they aren't a an organized community, it should still be up to the responsibility of LGBTQ members to call these people out,
Oh,
right?
sure. I guess if they wanted to.
Right. You're saying sure, but these are main points of contention that you had with Ween on
Um,
what he said.
yeah, because it's like it's
Mm,
very it's just not realistic behavior to expect like some random gay person with like, hey, I'm gay in the bio to go and start policing some like 13-year-old edgelord online that
so
gets offended by somebody in the commentary community making like an offensive joke about gay people.
yeah. So I mean, like, hold on, fuck, my mom's calling me. The fuck. All right. Okay. So sorry. What did you say? You said that it's not reasonable to
I said
expect.
it's not really reasonable to expect every gay
Right.
person that has this
So
hold on, that says that they're gay in the bio in some capacity to have to police every other gay person, unless it became like
right.
a huge public thing. Then it doesn't really. I don't really think it's their responsibility. Just like it's not my
Uh,
responsibility to call out every edgy little commentary community person just because
mm,
I'm part of like a commentary community as well.
right. And I do agree with that to an extent. I don't think like normies. Oh my gosh, you really won't leave me alone. I don't think normies should really like have that sort of responsibility to call everybody out, but people who are like really involved in these communities should, right? And you just don't see
Yes.
that often. And it's one thing not acting when you see somebody calling being toxic or something like that. But it's another thing defending these bad apples, which is what Ween was weighing heavily on. That they simply just want to defend these people who are being toxic because they are on
Like
the same
who?
side of them.
Like what? Like what's an example? Because that video gave
What,
zero examples.
right, which is people in general. It doesn't have to be examples because he's calling out a vocal
Well,
minority.
no,
He's
but
calling
it
the
does kind of need to be an example, or else he just
no,
seems to
no,
be saying
it
something.
doesn't.
There needs to be like
Right,
some example of like,
mm,
hey, here's a post
but it
where
doesn't.
here's
Mm,
like oh, here's a post where somebody said this, and then a gay person said this, and then all the other gay people are like, yeah, this is okay,
right.
and then it'd be like, oh,
Right.
okay,
So,
yeah, then you're pointing me to an example, but it just kind of sounds
mm,
like the person like it sounds like they're what it actually sounds like the only example they used, and it was a vague example, was an
mm,
example of a young kid in the commentary community making a joke that in the guy's own words was over the top, and then an
yeah.
LGBTQ person that was probably also young had a response of like kill
Mm.
yourself.
So,
So
I agree. So, I think one thing that I spoke to myself about when I was watching your video is that I don't think I like you. Like, I'm subscribed to your channel. I comment multiple times on your videos. They're often critical about you,
okay.
but I like you. I just think that sometimes whenever you do these videos, that you kind of say things in the moment that you don't necessarily agree with.
Like what?
Um, well, hold on. I'm just getting to it. Just to kind of contradict people, right? And you're being
Okay.
like sort of like because in the video I can point to exactly specifically when you said,
Okay.
oh my god. when you kind of completely dismiss the fact that Ween talked about the edgy joke and described like how bad it would be or how bad it was, saying it is over the top, whereas in the video you kind of said that it was like, well, you didn't really provide any sort of detailed description about
Well, he didn't.
the joke. Sorry, my bad.
Well,
Not detailed description,
he didn't provide
but
any
you said
description about the
right,
joke other than it was an edgy
right.
joke.
No, well, you just said that he described it as
He described
edgy
it. He described it
and
as an over-the-top, edgy
right,
joke.
over the top. What do you think?
That's not what. So the accurate way to what's the joke? That would
Right.
be
No.
So he didn't
And
provide like really any information. Like he
course.
said, by his own prescription, it was over the top and edgy. But what is the joke?
Right, and I would
Because
agree
if
with
it
you
was
that
like,
I would have liked to see the specifics of the joke, but my
sure,
problem is the video that you made about it, right? Is the video
why?
that you made, and because you made an assumption off of the joke and then completely
What
like made an
assumption did I
argument
make?
off of the joke.
No,
You
what's the
made
assumption that I made
hold
though?
on, because I'm literally just explaining this, okay?
Okay.
You made an assumption based on a position that he didn't have, right?
What
And
was
then
the
you proceeded
assumption?
to hold on. Okay, and then you proceeded to attack the straw man assumption that you have of him.
Okay,
Okay,
so
and
what was the assumption?
the assumption that he was defending. I mean, not this specific time, but I can point to later with the whole Christian and religion thing versus the gay people, right? So
Okay.
you said that he was validating or saying that it was more okay for religious people to hate, right, rather than it was for gay people to reciprocate that hate,
So
right?
yeah, based on the way that he talked about it, where he was
Mm.
saying like, "Oh, yes, he definitely favors more edgy or more like a non-affirming LGBTQ rhetoric because
So,
his
so I,
hold on a second, hold on,
yeah, my
because the
bad.
way that he was talking about it was it was something along the lines of, "Yeah, I know you guys get hatred, but you guys should respond better than that." Which is
Right.
a completely unreasonable stance to take. Where if somebody's getting hated just for like just before existing, that they should have to be more charitable to that person than they're being to them. Like, I mean,
Mm.
that is over the top. That's unrealistic, an unrealistic expectation for people to have to maintain.
So this is off topic, but this is a position that I have with like almost every single group, I guess, with any sort of ideals. But I don't think that that's unreasonable. I think that should be the standard of
It's
humanity.
100% unreasonable.
I don't.
Hold on, I want to
Hold
be.
on, hold on. I'm not saying that we should be best friends with people that we dislike, right? I'm just
Okay.
saying that we shouldn't negate hate with more hate, right?
Okay,
And one
but
thing that
that's
I
unreal.
really
It's
hold on.
unrealistic to say that, hey, I'm gonna criticize you just for existing. Hey, you're gay. I don't like you, and I think that
Right,
you're bad for the world. And now you're saying
right.
to that gay person, they have to respond with, "Oh, okay, that's fine." That's not a reasonable
But
expectation. That's above and beyond. That's an above and beyond expectation to have. If somebody
okay, so
hates you for just for you
right.
existing, it's unrealistic to be like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be able to respond in any capacity." That puts way too
Right, but
much
I'm
pressure,
not. Hold
especially
on. What
on the
I'm saying
marginalized
is,
group.
but that's not what I'm saying. My point is that you shouldn't. My point isn't that you shouldn't respond. It's that you should respond, right, with the same amount of courtesy that you should with everybody else.
But
Okay,
why should?
it's
But
like
you're not getting that courtesy in the
because
first place. So why should you have to respond more?
that's not how you de-radicalize people,
It's
right?
not.
That's not how
It's
you.
not everybody's responsibility to de-radicalize people. This is a
Well,
criticism for a this is hold on.
right.
For if
Hold on.
this is a
Right,
criticism of like a content creator, that's fine. But not everybody is a
right.
content creator. It's not, as a gay person, it's not your responsibility to sit down and educate every single person
Mm,
that thinks that you should be dead just by virtue of your existence. That's not their
right. No.
responsibility. So it's unreasonable to tell some random gay person that they have to be better than the person
Well,
telling
that's
them that they're
right.
less than as a human being just for being gay.
But then I would say just disengage with that sort of behavior, right? And let the people who will contend these points argue
Okay,
with them. Right?
why have you given zero criticisms for the people being homophobic in the first place?
Well, because the main topic is the LGBT community, right? I can
No,
talk
no,
all
no, no, no,
day,
no. My
right,
point
about
is that you're
no,
very
but you're no,
you're
no, but you're doing exactly what you were doing
no,
with Ween,
stop,
though.
stop, stop.
No,
When we
you're doing exactly what you're doing with Ween.
you okay, well that's probably because he's wrong. In this whole
Okay,
conversation, you're more
right.
critical of gay people receiving hate than the people that are sending hate in the first place. That's
No,
the
because
entire
we're
problem.
talk, because we're talking about gay people right now. If you want me
Oh,
to
what's
go
your
on a rant,
what's
if you want to go on, hold on, if you want to go on a rant about religious people, then it's like, okay,
It's
I
not
can
about
tell you all
it's not about a rant on religious people.
mm,
We're talking about the tone of that video set higher expectations for gay people receiving hate than the people that were sending the hate in the first place. That's the problem I
see,
have with the video. That was my
but
criticism.
right, but I think you're just disregarding the fact that, like, yeah, it's only natural for that because his main topic is the LGBTQ TQ
Yes,
community. Okay?
and his idea
It's
is
not,
founded on yes, but like that's the thing. If
right.
if a criticism that you have of a marginalized group is that they should be
Mm.
better at responding to people that hate them, then I find that to be
Mm.
very disconnected from reality.
But you do remember that he said in generally, right? This is how people should act in their day-to-day lives. So he just merely applied the same statement to
Saying that this
LGBTQ.
is I think it would be great if everybody acted
Right?
better
Yeah,
generally, but
yeah.
again, that criticism is only leveraged against the gay people receiving hate and not the people pushing hate in the
Mm.
first place. That's the problem with the video.
Because the main topic of the video is gay people. Or
It doesn't matter
let's just
what
say
the
black
main
people.
topic is. It doesn't matter. It's
No, it does. It
no,
does
yeah,
matter
no, it
what the main.
doesn't.
How does
Listen,
it not matter what the main topic is?
his
Hold on, wait a minute.
criticism of gay people is that they should
Right.
be nicer to the people that hate them. That there should be just as much, if not more, criticism on the people pushing the hate first than gay people responding to the hate.
Right, but he never makes the point where it's like you should be nice, right? He should just say that you don't begate hate with more hate. Okay, it doesn't
Okay.
make sense.
Well,
That's his statement.
that is
Right?
effectively the same thing. Like, yes, he's
No,
saying that,
how
and
is that? How is that the
he's
same
saying
thing?
that the
So you watch Destiny, right? I know you watch Destiny.
sure. I watched Destiny. Yeah,
Destiny shares this same point of view. You don't begate hate with more hate. Okay, have you ever seen him and Nick Fuentes, talk? Right.
sure.
Him and Nick don't. At least with Destiny, okay, and the relationship is kind of shaky now. But him and
Okay.
Destiny don't, they don't talk about how much they hate each other all the time because even though Nick has like abhorrent ideas, okay,
Uh-huh. Okay.
right? You see what I'm saying?
I think that you
He doesn't. He
don't
doesn't like.
I
No,
don't think that you have a very fleshed out understanding of the conversations that like Destiny and Nick Fuentes are having if you're applying this to normal people.
no, okay, but
I guarantee you
how though? What I'm saying is
because
though is that
we're
even
not
though
you're talking about content creation. First of all, you're saying that Nick
right,
Fuentes and Destiny
okay,
both have cordial conversations, which means that Nick Fuentes isn't being hateful. That's number one. Number two, Destiny is a content creator who tries to engage and de-radicalize people. That is
but
that's the job he's put on himself.
mm,
That's not every gay person. It's not every gay
so
person's responsibility to try to sit down and engage with everybody as to why they should think that they're valid individuals. Not everybody
right,
has to be an
Nick.
activist.
Hold on, but Nick has views that directly contradict what Destiny is trying to do,
Who
right?
cares? It has
What do you mean?
nothing.
Who
It has
cares?
nothing to do with the average everyday
He
gay person. Like it doesn't matter.
right? No, hold on. Okay,
Okay,
okay, right. But you're talking about the average everyday gay person, like they're not engaging in these types of
they're
conversations. If they're
not.
not, then right. So then, okay, if they're not engaging in this type of conversation, then first of all, you wouldn't even have what's the word? I don't know what the word is. But what I'm saying is that even though you have gay people, right,
Okay.
who are not engaging in these types of activities, there should be some gay people, right, with the responsibility to not begate hate with more hate. Okay, if these normies are not going to choose to engage, then they shouldn't hate these religious people, right, just for the sake of that. Okay.
So I want to be very clear about the
Mm,
example being used here. It's that the only example that we got was there was an edgy kid who made an over the top joke and a gay
right.
person got offended by it and responded with like equal amounts of hatred, maybe more. So the
Right.
criticism is like, hey, be nicer to the kid that was making the edgy joke that invalidates your
So
existence rather than like, hey, maybe you shouldn't make those jokes. Or
right.
maybe people who make edgy jokes should stop being sensitive pussies and understand that if you're going to make a joke about
So
about a particular group, you're going to get hatred from
about
that group and you need to just take it in stride.
mm. So with my and I like to argue in good faith. So I think what he
Okay.
was referring to was the disproportionate response to that joke, right? Like
Sure.
if I said Jesus was bad or
Okay.
not Jesus was bad, I don't know, what's an edgy Christian joke?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's say if I said a joke about Jesus, right,
Okay.
about him being a celibate or whatever, right, and then a Christian person went up to me and said, kill yourself, right? That's an improportionate response,
Sure, but we don't
right?
even know if the response was disproportionate because we don't know
Right.
what
Well,
the actual joke was in the
that
first
right.
place.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like when I talked about your argument tactics, is that you didn't really look into, any benefit of the doubt,
I
right?
no because it's very logical that if you have an edgy commentary content creator saying that in their opinion they think that a joke that another edgy person made was over the top, it's probably a lot worse than they're playing it to be. And I'd like to know what the joke is. There's no you have a lot of that person should have just said what the joke was or gave an example.
Right.
That was my biggest criticism of the video. I was like,
Mm.
hey, maybe you are right, and I said this multiple times, but you've given no example, so it seems like maybe you're just using this as an excuse to be less than charitable to gay people. And I said multiple times, I don't
Right.
even think, and then to this idea that I'm being dishonest, I said multiple times, this seems like a good guy, that he's just not giving us examples, and maybe he's just too lost in the sauce. So the idea that I'm being like dishonest or
Hold
uncharitable
on.
is like a silly, it's like a
Right. Right.
ridiculous argument.
Okay. Hold on. But you just okay. Hold on.
Okay,
So,
I'm ready.
God, I lost my whole train of thought. And yes, I totally agree with you that he should have provided examples.
Yeah.
Right. My problem is that when it came to, because there were some things I was like, yes, you have it, and then you were to say like, I don't know, what did you just say like 2 seconds ago? You
I
said
don't know.
that, right. You said that he was being, God, what was the word? I'm sorry, I was having a discussion with somebody else. Can you just like reiterate what you said?
I don't really know what you're referring to. I said that he didn't seem
Like,
like a bad
what
guy.
you just?
He was just lost in the sauce. Is that what
No,
you're
no,
referring
no, no. Before that, before that.
to? I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know what you're specifically referring
Oh
to.
no, I know, remembers. It was to be less charitable on LGBTQ members, right? That's
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying. It's like,
yeah.
right. So you're implying like that he was like being in bad faith. That's why he made this video,
I'm
right? Was
implying
to
that he's like a younger kid that maybe because he's constantly making edgy.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm implying that
Yeah,
he's like a
no,
younger
just
kid and that
yeah.
he seems to engage in like an edgier community that makes
Mm,
jokes about like some marginalized groups, and so then he gets responses from them. And in his opinion, it's just a joke, but in their opinion, it's like very hurtful to them. And so he starts to develop like a negative bias on some LGBTQ people that get upset. No, I think that's reasonable. And then I don't think he's a
right.
bad
So
person because I feel like
so
we've all, I
so
feel like I've even been there in some capacity as well. So
so even right. So even when he provides no examples, though, you're just gonna immediately assume the bad take, right?
I
Like
don't think that's a
they're
bad take. A bad faith?
right.
Yeah,
No,
I am.
yeah, my bad.
Yes, I'm
The bad
assuming.
position that he
I am
had,
assuming that
right?
a young kid that
Mm,
makes a lot of edgy jokes and has a disproportionate amount of policing of the response to hatred from
mm.
gay people, that maybe they're a little biased against gay people, and then they should probably work against that bias. I don't think
I'm
that
not.
that's
I'm
like a
not.
harsh
I'm
take or
yeah.
anything.
I'm not
So,
gonna argue against the bias. I thought it was kind of ridiculous when he said I have no
oh,
biases.
okay, so then he
But
has,
with
yeah. So we kind of agree, right?
right. But with that being said, though, okay,
Okay.
I just don't think that your criticisms of his arguments were just dishonest, right? Because of these reasons that you implied that there was some sort of malicious intent, and then you kind of
I never a single time implied malicious intent.
no. But I'm saying within these arguments that you used to disprove them, right? That's when you applied malicious intent.
Well,
Like when you made a whole assumption, right? That he's saying that it's
no, I
okay for
never.
religious. Hold on. When you said that it's okay for religious people to hate, but not for gay people to hate back, right? That's what I'm saying.
That's not malicious. If I thought he had
I, I,
malicious
I
intent,
think that's pretty malicious.
no, you're not listening.
How is that not
Malicious
okay,
intent. I'm just going to read the definition. Characterized by
right?
malice, intending or intending to do harm. I don't think that like he. If I thought he was
Okay, yeah,
being
okay. Yeah, you're
malicious,
right. You're right. You're
I
right.
wouldn't have said I think he's like a good guy. He's just a little lost in the sauce. There's no
Right. My bad.
malicious
My bad.
aspect.
I
I just
meant
think that he has a bias against gay people. That's pretty much it.
right. But what I meant to say, okay. But what I meant to say though is that when you're saying that he's validating religious people hating on gay people rather than gay people hating back on the religious people that hate them, it's like I don't know. That's pretty bad, right? Because he never at all made that statement, right? He never said
Multiple times
that it's okay.
he was multiple times just over policing the responses from gay people to receiving like edgy jokes or hatred, but he wasn't giving any criticism of the people making it
So
in the first place. So
I
I think
just
yeah, that's where
I
that
think
comes from.
I think we just disagree of how people should respond to hate. I think that's what we're getting stuck up on because he was only
I don't
criticizing
think we
that hateful.
disagree. I don't think we disagree on people how people should respond to hate. I think we disagree on the reality of how people do respond to hate. Like, yeah,
Right. No, I
ideally,
mean, I
everybody,
know it's
in an ideal
right.
world, everybody should respond to hate with kindness. That would be great.
Right,
But
but
that's,
how do you get to that ideal world? Do you criticize people who don't respond in this way? Absolutely. That's exactly what he was doing.
but there
His
was
whole
no, but there
video.
was
Hold on, wait, wait,
no,
wait,
but
wait a
there
minute,
was
wait a minute, wait a
no
minute, wait a minute,
criticism
wait a
on the
minute. His
people
whole
making the
video
hateful shit
is
in the
hold on,
first
but
place.
his whole video is how to improve the LGBT community. Right from the start, he says this is how the LGBT community is hurting. Right, it's because of bad apples. Right, that sort of
Right, but that doesn't mean just because he
characterize.
asserts that it's getting hurt from bad apples doesn't mean that's what actually is happening. Again,
That
he
is so what happened. If you go
he
to any gamer space, people are like to stay away from these communities because of
yeah,
this
because it's a
reason, because of
gamer
the
space and gamers love to make fucking homophobic jokes all the time.
right. But why do you think
So
that? Why do you think they always refer to the blue-haired woman whenever they talk about feminism? It's because the blue-haired
who
woman looks absolutely insane and is making the
sh-
feminist movement look like shit.
okay,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
in every gamer spaces are still like still very regressive and like homophobic, racist, and
Right. Look. I
sexist.
just used
So
the, I look.
again, no, because this is the problem, right? Is that you are
Hold on.
super
Right. No, but the gamer community though, isn't that like the average? I mean, you could say that a lot of young people, right, are
I'd
the
s-
average gamer.
I'd
Okay.
s-
So why?
okay, keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. Right. So why is it that now, okay, you have an understanding for these gay people, but not for the average gamer, right?
What is
It's
this like?
like you
Or is
just
it like
totally
Batman Beyond? The gamers are the most suppressed class. I'm not understanding what was happening here. What?
you just completely made a bad
No,
faith
I
argument.
didn't.
What I'm saying is though is that you can't understand,
Are
right?
you in debate
Why?
class?
No, I wish.
Okay. Okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. What was your argument?
Why are you what?
No, I'm just like you're using a lot of
Join?
you're using a lot of terms that like I don't think you're
I'm
applying like reasonably. I'm not being bad faith. But anyway, keep
I think
going.
I think no, sorry. I think you are being bad faith
I
because you
think that
totally just
I
no, hold
think
on,
that
but you
I
totally just
made
assumed
no
the
I just
position
can
that
we
I had.
I made
You
a
totally just assumed the position.
I made
You
a
totally just
I
assumed
made
it.
a joke and you're getting really offended by it. Just like
Okay. Hold
that's
on.
what happened.
I'm
So I'm
not.
telling you, you edgy guys
Look,
need
hold
to
on.
sort of
Look,
take a joke better.
I'm not edgy, bro. Look, I'm
Okay.
smiling the whole way through. Okay, this is a conversation I just wanted to have. Right. I'm
Oh
not trying to be
sure,
hostile
sure.
to you.
I'm not
Right.
I'm
But
not
no,
either.
no. I know. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay,
Right. But
okay.
it's like I don't know. Like you made a joke when we're
Okay.
having
Anyway,
a
let's get back to what we're
discussion.
talking. So
Right.
we're talking about gamers. We're talking
Right.
about
Right.
how in gaming
Right.
communities they don't like
Mm.
gay people and women or something, right? What were we talking about? We kind of got
No,
off topic.
I wasn't saying that they don't. I was saying that how these bad apples interact with these spaces, right, will determine how other people see them. Like, you know how like how Democrats, right, view Republicans as evil and then vice versa, right? It's because you have a lot of bad
Some of them.
Democrats and a lot of bad Republicans, right? It's like
Okay.
you have people like DeSantis saying like crazy shit, and then you have people like Kamala saying crazy shit as well, right?
Sure.
It's like how these people interact is how they view them. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm simply saying is that, and what Ween is also saying is that you should
Mm.
not react so radically, and people will view you better. His whole video is advice to gay people. Let's
Yeah,
just say,
but like I don't think those gay people were like, "Oh my God, Ween, thank you so much for the advice." Because my thing is no, because my thing is like,
no, I
why
just
you're being more critical of gay people responding to hate than the people who are pushing the hate in the first place. That's the biggest
well,
problem I have with the video.
right.
That's
Okay,
why
so I mean,
that's
he's
why
being
it comes off as having a bias against gay people. Yeah.
so yeah. I mean, the whole video is literally the topic is gay people, right? So I don't again. Of course, he's going
He'd show
to
no, that's not, it's not like he had like a class. It's not like that
right.
he had some kind of like English class assignment where like the teacher chose to talk about gay people, and he
But
chose to make the topic about gay people. And in his topic about gay people, he put more responsibility for them to police their response to hate than the people hating in the first place. He brushed off
so
people
you're
being hateful in the first place, and he's putting
mm,
more energy onto people who are gay responding better to hatred. That's just silly.
so what you're saying is though is that because he didn't make because he chose the video on like the topic of what the video was made about, and then he chose to criticize the LGBT community for responding to hate in an unfavorable way. Is that your whole main contention?
My main contention is that he puts more, he's
Mm,
policing gay people responding to homophobic hate
right.
and jokes than the people making those statements or jokes in the first place.
Okay.
That's the
But
issue.
and this sort of plays into his whole uh, discussion that he had earlier. I think
Okay.
later in the video after he said he talked about the bad apples thing. He said specifically, yeah. He was talking about how LGBTQ people have like a sort of moral high ground whenever it comes to any argument. And then this is something that I thought like was like wild to me that you said. That you said I don't really see any of this where people would leverage their labels to win an argument or use it as a silver bullet, as he said, right? So what you just said about him criticizing or policing how people how LGBTQ's response should be to hey kind of sounded like that, right? As him, a straight man, couldn't kind of talk about how other people should act.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you saying?
I I I,
I'm
I don't
very.
know.
I don't really. I just don't understand what the point you
I,
just made
I
was. I don't really,
right. Okay. So you're saying that he's policing how gay people should react, right?
yes, but he's not
Yeah,
policing the
how?
people who are making the comments in the first place. You know,
Okay. Because I don't even want to. I think we're just not going to be able to come to like a conclusion.
probably not.
But
Yeah.
right. But hey, man, I just want to say
Well,
thank you for having me on.
here's the thing.
This
Here's
was
the thing. Let me just try to give you like an example.
want to try at me.
Let's say you got into a fight because
Mm,
somebody hit you in the face, right?
right.
And then you responded in kind, and then you got in trouble just as much as the other person. Do you think that's fair?
Mm. It depends what my response was.
They hit you in the
You know.
face, and then you responded by
Right.
hitting them in the
So
face. Do
so
you think
so I
that
just hit him in the if I just hit him in the face once.
you responded proportionately to the way that
Right.
he interacted with you, and then you both got in trouble to the same degree? Do you think that's fair?
No, I don't think that's fair.
Okay, that is what Ween's point is, and I think it's a bad point. That's the entirety of the
Well,
issue I have.
right, but the issue with Ween's point, or sorry, the issue with your example or your what's it called? I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
my
know.
my
You're
stance
kind of
here.
no, your example. My bad. Was that you can't really pick and choose like how should I say like your topic doesn't affect like who's fighting who, right? You know what I'm saying?
What? What? I don't
What I'm
understand.
saying is that okay, when it comes to writing videos, right, you're going to talk about the topic that you put out there, right? And what I'm saying is that it would simply kind of derail a conversation while constantly having to, you know, uh, while constantly having to denounce the hatred of gay people. I mean, he says that it's literally not okay to hate gay people, right? He's merely critiquing LGBTQ people in this video, and you can't do everything at once. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
If he wanted to make a religious video about how bad or why I don't like the
Wait.
religious community or whatever, and he
I
kind
want
of
to hold it really
discussed.
quick because you're kind of just going all you're kind of going off on a tangent. Why not apply the same logic to this situation I gave you to people? Like you're saying it's appropriate to fight
Mm.
back when somebody hits you, but it's not appropriate to fight back when somebody like says something shitty
Well,
to you. Like
so so first of all, this is a physical altercation. This isn't like a verbal expressive
why does
violence.
that
Right?
matter? You're supposed to rise up.
That matters
Why?
so much. That matters so much.
Why
I would
don't
never
why?
say no. Hold on. I would never say just be defenseless, right? While somebody is literally kicking your
No,
ass,
no, no.
right?
Okay, then great. Then let's do it this way.
Right?
Let's
No,
say that. Hold on.
hold on.
No, no.
But
Let's just say no because you're saying kicking your ass. So let's just remove that. Let's say the guy punched you in the face. He says, "I'm only going to punch you in the face once," and he hits you in the
right.
face once, and then he stops. Do you think it's reasonable to hit him back?
Yeah, but that's a physical
Well, but okay.
altercation.
But he already said no, no, no. He said he's only going to hit you once.
Right, but that's a physical
It doesn't
altercation
matter. It
though.
doesn't matter. You're saying so. This person is going to say like, "I'm going to hit you back." Or I'm going to hit you once and I'm going to stop. So you hitting him isn't actually going to stop everything. If anything, it's just going to
Actually,
escalate.
hmm.
But he
Actually,
says,
no. I think if he's gonna stop afterwards, then there'd be no reason to.
so
That's
if
like
you
saying like
if you unironically think if somebody's like I'm gonna hit you in the face once, and then you
right.
think it's reasonable to not hit back, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I
I
feel
mean, no,
like
hold on. No,
I would hit the fuck out of
no,
him
no,
back.
no, no, because then because the threat doesn't like obviously I would probably hit back, right? Because I would be in the
Yes,
moment. I would be
you
pissed.
should hit back. Yeah.
Right. I don't know,
So
but I
why is it
shouldn't.
justifiable
Okay.
for you to be pissed and not the gay person?
I'm not justified for me to be pissed and not the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that I literally just said that I would be pissed and I would probably hit back. That's literally what I
Yeah, but
just
like,
said.
so why is it okay if you
Right?
get pissed and
But
hit
I'm not.
back, but it's not
But
okay if a
hold
gay
on, hold
person
on,
gets
hold on,
pissed
hold
and hits
on, hold
back?
on. But what I'm saying is though is that I shouldn't do that. Okay. Like if I had the foresight, I shouldn't do that. But there
Ideally,
isn't
sure, but it's
anybody.
reasonable for you to do that because you just got hit.
I never said it wasn't unreasonable. Okay.
We're talking about reasonable expectations of different groups of people, and
Right,
what I'm
right. But
saying,
reasonable expectation doesn't mean that it should just be like, oh, we should never push for the ideal scenario. Like,
Sure,
you
but
support
sure,
UBIs, right?
Yes, I'm in for ideal scenarios, but in his ideal scenario,
Mm.
gay people should act in an idyllic way, but the people propagating hate against gay people aren't held to the same standard. That's the problem
Right,
that I have with
and
it.
again, we're just gonna loop through, right?
Okay.
The video is
Right.
topic video.
Okay, he
right?
chose
Is
that
about
topic. He chose that to be the topic.
So now right, so now you're faulting him to
I am
choose the topic. I don't
No, because that's not how that's not how the real world works. You're trying to make it seem like because he chose this as a rigid topic that he can't be reasonable. Okay. I'm not
right. This is in the real world.
Oh,
Right.
sure.
He chose a video that he chose a topic.
His
right?
topic was his issues with the
video.
LGBTQ community, and he finds it to be an issue with the LGBTQ community that they respond to being hated on, and he didn't criticize the people hating nearly as much.
So
that's the whole
yeah,
issue.
but don't you think
this.
No, I am understanding it, but don't you think it's a little like it's a little bit of like whataboutism to be like?
No, it's not. It's
yeah,
not.
I do.
You're saying debate terms now. That's all. You're not actually saying anything.
Again, these are common terms. I'm not even.
I know, but
like
you're just using like debate bro terms for no reason. Like we're in a one-on. No, this is the entire scenario. This is the entire scenario. Somebody says something hateful to a gay person. The gay person responds with more hatred. And then the criticism is, why did that person respond with more hatred? They shouldn't have done that. That's the problem with the video. There's not enough or really any criticism at all on the person saying the hateful thing in the first place. We're talking about an ideal world. Ideally, that person shouldn't have said anything. And it is it's a ridiculous disconnected, terminally online perspective to take that somebody shouldn't be able to respond to hate. It's weird. Not everybody's a debate bro. Not everybody is trying to do their best to make a more affirming world, and not everybody's open to actual reasonable dialogue. If you think that an edgy person making like a super offensive gay joke is like open to having their mind changed about gay people, then that's just disconnected. And you effectively do believe that because you said
you don't have any faith for these people who hold extremist values. You're just being what? I don't understand. You don't have any faith for people who hold extremist values, like being edgy.
You don't understand.
So you
normal
said
human interactions. That's what the problem
is. Hold on, and then you discredit me like that. So you said that everyone has had kind of an edgy phase, right? You said that. You said that really explicably.
I know that you.
So how does somebody? So how does somebody grow out of this edgy phase? Just tell me. If nobody can have their mind changed if they're edgy.
That's not what I said. I said that
not everybody. You just asked me a question, right? You
I said. Okay, I already know your question. Really? You've already stated your question. I already know what your question is. So let me just
answer responsibly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying is that if an edgy person is making a gay joke, that doesn't mean that they're open, especially from the gay person, to be educated on how they should change. Not everybody is open to change in every instance of their life, and they're definitely not going to change by making an edgy joke and a gay person say like, "Oh, that's really offensive because of that." They know it's offensive. They're just like making a joke. They don't think it's that serious. It's not everybody's individual responsibility to have to change the minds of everybody else. A gay person doesn't have to sit down and be like, let me debate why I shouldn't be dead. Like it's silly. It's so disconnected. Especially especially if we're going to get deeper into this and the way that you de-radicalize people, a lot of people who aren't gay affirming will never be educated by a gay person on why the gay people should exist. It takes people that sit more in the middle to be able to explain it from a different perspective. Okay, so that if you agree with that, you realize you're agreeing that that some people aren't going to.
It takes both sides of the people. You've seen Daryl Davis, right? He's literally talked with KKK members.
Do you think that everybody has to be Daryl Davis?
I'm not
Daryl Davis.
I don't want to be Daryl Davis.
Nobody wants.
It's exhausting to try to hold on. But there
you go. Okay, it's exhausting. You're saying that gay people should all have the responsibility of being Daryl Davis when you say that you don't even think that you should have to be.
No, hold on. What I'm saying is that if you don't choose, if you don't choose to be the Daryl Davis of the LGBT community, how you do this is you disengage. Okay, it is better to just disengage. Okay, instead of fighting hate with more hate. That's literally my point.
So how come you're not criticizing the people who started with the hate?
That's why I left
you realize
that's
you're
why I
like,
left
yeah, these
Christianity.
you're like, oh, these gay
No,
people, they really
you're just making assumptions
no,
about
I'm
my
not.
positions. You know nothing about me.
I
Yeah, yes, you
know
are. I've literally criticized, right, religious
it
people
doesn't.
multiple times.
Okay,
Okay, in
cool.
this in this
Okay, cool.
conversation. Right, you're saying cool, but you're trying to
Because
use that against me, right? You're trying to use that
what
against
I'm
me and saying that I'm not
saying,
criticizing these people.
what I'm saying is we have an interaction where in this scenario the homophobic person has already criticized the gay person and you're like, yeah, they should just
Right,
not respond. Sure, that would probably be better, but it's not
right.
reasonable to not respond because that person already started with
So,
like an
so,
engagement saying that they're shitty.
so
I don't really understand.
right, okay. Again, I've said this so many times, okay? It's understandable. I can understand. I don't disagree with you that it's understandable why people would want to hate other people, okay? Especially when they're getting hated on.
Okay.
But when I'm saying, like, you would agree with me, right? That you shouldn't do that. It's not actively good for the community, right? That, you're a part of, right? Because it makes you look worse.
You shouldn't. It doesn't make you look worse at all. If
I think it
you
does make you look worse.
because
So
you honestly, it's because you're very disconnected from reality.
I don't.
It doesn't
You're
make. Hold
saying
on,
that I'm
stop.
disconnected from
It
reality to
doesn't.
discredit me.
It doesn't make. Yeah, because you're
Mm,
wrong. It doesn't make a person look worse for responding to hatred with
this is
hatred.
crazy.
It doesn't make somebody look worse for responding to hatred when they're getting hated on first. It doesn't make them look
I
worse at all. There's nothing to disagree with because
worse.
that's just an
No.
objective
Hold
truth.
on. No, hold on. You're saying I'm not saying worse in comparison to the people are hating on you. I'm saying worse as far as like the movement that they're a part
It
of.
doesn't make the movement look bad if somebody
Yes,
is no it
it
no it
does look.
doesn't.
It does.
No, it
No, hold on.
doesn't.
This is
It
literally the
doesn't make a
reason. This
movement.
is
You literally
yes.
just said it would be appropriate to fight back against somebody who hit you first.
I
But
never said it. I know.
yes, you did.
Hold on.
Oh my
No,
God, yes, you did.
I
It
never
is
said it
literally the
would be.
law
I
that you can
never.
fight back against people who hit you first. This is the same scenario. It doesn't make
Whoa,
gay
hold on.
people.
Hold on.
It doesn't make gay people look worse.
Hold on.
Hold on, you have to stop. This is the problem. Is
All
like
right. No.
you're not thinking. You're not listening.
Okay.
You're not
Okay.
listening to anything
Hold
that
on.
I'm saying.
Let me.
You're ready. No, no,
I
no, let
am.
you. No, no,
No.
no, no. Shh, shh,
I am
shh.
listening. I am
You
listening.
need to
I
stop
am listening.
talking.
You are
No,
Okay. Then hurry.
you
Okay.
need to stop talking.
Then say what you're gonna say. Okay.
You need to listen to what I'm saying instead of just
Say.
waiting to respond.
Yes. Okay.
What
Then
I'm
say it.
saying,
That's what I am doing. I'm
you have to
processing
stop
what you're
talking.
saying.
It doesn't make gay
Then
people
say it.
it doesn't make gay people look worse when they respond to homophobia with the same level of hatred that they're receiving. It just makes them look human. Nobody thinks that they look worse except for people who already don't like gay people. Okay? That's
But
it.
okay. Okay. Hold on. So again, I don't. If you said, let's say you were religious, right?
Sure.
And you said that it makes it. Do you think that somebody who is religious, right, saying fuck religious people, right? Do you think that that's gonna make them appear to you more human?
Sorry, what? Just re
What are you saying? What for? I'm saying what I'm saying, right, is if you were religious, okay,
Okay, let's say I'm
and
religious.
right, okay, and some gay person, okay, said fuck religious people, I hate religious people, yada yada yada. How is that gonna equate to humanity to you? If anything, that would make you more upset, right?
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
How would that be? How would that be? Like, how would that make the movement of the gay person like any more validated? It makes it look worse.
Why
This
does
is
it
why so
why
many
does it
people in
so wait, I just
America.
want to understand. So the gay why is the gay person saying fuck religious people? Is it because historically religion hates gay people and gay people tend to or religious people disproportionately dislike gay people? So they're like, I don't like religious people because they don't like me. How does that make them look bad?
Because what I'm saying is though is that let's say most Christians,
Sure.
because I do think that most Christians, even though they have some sort of what's the word for it? I wouldn't say disdain.
Bias against gay people?
Yeah, I would say bias. They don't. A lot of them have the position where they don't mind it, but they don't really support it. They're just kind of whatever,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
So if you were just a normal person, right, a normal Christian person, the American youth, whatever, right,
Okay.
and somebody on the street just said, "Fuck you, you Christian bitch," right? Like
Okay.
how does that involve you though? I don't understand.
Okay. So that question you're asking is completely disanalogous to anything we're talking about. You realize that,
It's
right?
completely no. It's
No,
hold on. It's
no, it is
completely.
not. It is
It's
completely
it is.
irrelevant.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, no, no. Let me
It's
say
what we
this.
call
Right.
a bad
This is
faith argument.
hold
It is
on.
what we call a
No, this
straw
is
man in the debate
how
community.
is that a straw man? I'm
Listen, you
literally
want?
I'm
I can
literally steel
explain to you
manning
right
you.
now.
I'm steel
No,
manning
you're
you.
not. No, you're
Okay.
not.
Okay. All right,
You're
explain to me. Explain to me. Explain to me.
what we're talking about is a situation where somebody is specifically saying, I don't like gay people in some capacity, and the gay person is responding in kind. Your scenario is just that this gay guy walks up to some random like person
So
that
hold
they
on,
think
hold
is
on.
you just
So you're
not you didn't even let me finish the point. You're not listening.
no. I'm sorry. I'm clarifying. Right.
You're not
My bad.
clarifying because I didn't finish
No,
what I
hold
was
on.
saying.
I'm asking what I'm asking. Right. If you
Go
mean
ahead.
this.
Go ahead.
So you're saying that personally, right? If you were gay and a Christian person walked up to you and you said and they said fuck you, right? And then you said fuck you back. You think that's what you think the situation is?
That's the
Is that correct?
situation we're effectively talking about. Yes.
Okay. So you think that on a personal level, okay. I think I know because I think Ween was mostly referring to like as a group stance, right? And then how that would ripple through each group, right? But you're saying more personal, which is entirely
Because
different situation.
that's his entire argument. And if that wasn't his argument, he did a really bad job at displaying his argument.
I mean, I thought he did better than most people of his age. Really
Maybe.
good,
Well, the
actually.
fact that you said of his age is very clear that you don't think that he did very well in general compared to like
Well,
somebody that's
and
older
then
and a little
and then I
more fleshed
added,
out.
well, yeah, because I mean,
I think he's an intelligent dude. I just disagree
right.
with his take, and I even said multiple
Mhm.
times I don't think he's a bad person. But again, like,
I'm not
yeah, he's.
arguing that you think he's a bad
I
person. I
know, but
don't.
my point is that
I
like
don't think
he.
you're.
But my
You're
point
so
is that he's
yeah.
wrong when it comes to some of the stuff he's talking about. It is
Mm.
perfectly reasonable for somebody to respond to hate after being directly hated on. That's perfectly fine and that's perfectly reasonable. That's the whole argument. And the fact of the matter is he didn't put any level of policing on religious people for being hateful. Yes, he did say he thinks that it's bad, but there's
Mm.
no understanding of like an actual just real world perspective of when somebody's hateful to you, you're going to have the response of being hateful back. He's putting too
So
much energy and too
right.
much responsibility on gay people for being responding to hatred better than the people that are being hateful in the first place. And that's the problem I have with the video.
So let me. So let me run it through you, right? So if you watch the whole video again and you just took out, let's say if he added more, like maybe if he was more empathetic, right, to the gay perspective,
Okay.
would you agree with everything that he said in the video?
No, because again, he's over policing gay people's response to hatred. That's my
Hold on,
problem.
hold on. But you're saying that his lack of understanding, right,
If he had a better understanding
is
of what he
because
was
of that.
talking about, he wouldn't have made the video. Like that's what we would like. That's what it is.
I don't know. I feel like I mean you just watched the whole Keffels thing, right? I feel like that's a perfect example of like what he was talking about.
What? What do you mean the
The
whole
whole
Keffel
Keffels.
stuff? What?
Well, I mean, you watch multiple videos of, especially Destiny breaking down, why Keffels is a horrible person, right? Keffels is a member of the trans community, right?
Okay, and
He's right. The whole Ween video is explicitly warning against that kind of behavior,
what
right? And why that
behavior?
should be stopped.
What are you talking
Of
about?
Keffels' behavior. What do you mean of what behavior?
What are you talking about? I don't like these things are so they're not comparable. What do you mean?
How are they not comparable?
What
Like
is
Keffels.
Keffel's what?
What do you mean?
You're just saying I just want you to understand what you're saying right now is Keffel's bad. That's all you're telling me right now.
Well, isn't Keffels bad though?
I mean I don't know if Keffel's is bad. She seems to have some irresponsible
Okay.
behavior, but
How
what does this have to
much?
do with the conversation
Um,
that gay people should be better about responding to
because
hatred? I
no,
don't
because
understand.
no, because I'm well, hold on, because there's multiple topics that he discussed. Okay, and we're discussing here. Okay, so the whole Ween video, right,
Okay.
is pretty much warning against this type of behavior that Keffels exhibits, right?
Like in what way? Give me like an example of what Keffel's does that's comparable
Well,
to what
first
he's
of
saying.
all, okay, well, Keffels, okay, uses the label of being trans, right, to sort of give her moral high ground. That's something that he opposed.
Maybe.
Really, maybe you talk about,
This isn't
bro.
what we're specifically talking about the situation where a gay person responds to hatred and how that gay person should be better
Right,
about.
right.
So, like,
So,
how is the
right, but okay,
Keffels
but
in relation to that argument specifically?
no, because like I said, there's
Yeah, no, but
multiple
now what's
subtopics
happening is you're moving on
about
to a
the.
different argument.
I'm not moving on,
Yeah,
right?
you
I'm not
are.
moving
Yeah.
on. I'm on this. No, hold on. I'm on the same argument, right? Because I said, right? I asked you, if he had more understanding of the gay experience, okay, and then yada yada, yada, and then you said if he had more understanding, he wouldn't have made this video, right? And I
Yes.
said, well, right, because you're implying that this isn't really an issue if you had more understanding and you actually knew about it, right? But what I'm saying is though is that with the context of people like Keffels, right?
Okay.
This obviously is an issue, right? And this is making and hurting the communities, uh, like the LGBTQ community, right? Because there's some people, and he said vocal minority, that are making this, group look worse, right? And yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying.
Oh, I get again, like to the specific point of gay people over policing gay people on their response to hate. I don't think Keffels has anything to do with that.
Well,
And
he said
also, if you think
I'm pretty
that
sure.
if you
I'm
think
pretty
that
sure the
Keffels
whole.
if
Hold on,
you
hold on.
think that Keffels makes the entire LGBTQ community look bad
I
because you think
never.
that she's a bad person, then like
So
that's a
so
you
when I
problem.
so did you just like forget when I said like vocal minority?
Okay, so then okay, no, but what you just said was the way that Keffel interacts as the vocal minority makes the rest of the LGBTQ community look bad. So what you're doing is
Yes,
you're
yes. To any normal person, it makes
okay.
them look bad.
Then that's the behavior that we need to change. You shouldn't look at one
I,
person that
I
might be
totally agree
bad.
with that, and it
Okay,
starts on both sides, right? That's what Ween was implying.
that's okay. Sure, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, I kind of thought this would be like way better, but I don't know.
Also, how
Hey, man.
conversation works when people disagree. Yeah.
No, it's not even. I've had a lot of. I don't know. Maybe social stuff is just not my thing. I'm
Okay.
more into other politics, but I mean, I've
Okay.
had I've had discussions with people.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Hey, it was
Well, it was nice. It was nice having you stop by.
yeah. No hard feelings. Just
Of
went
course
on
not.
for longer than 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, take
Yeah,
care and enjoy the rest of your meal. All right.
yeah. It's cold French fries and
That's all right. You'll
well,
heat them up. All right. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Have a good one. All
Thank
right.
you. Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Yeah. How do
Okay. Well, that was interesting. I guess I could start inviting people to speak if they want to talk. I mean, we already have the Discord popped open, so might as well at this point, right? Fuck it. I'll pull a couple people in. What's going on?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's up?
What's up?
Not too much. How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm not here to talk much. I just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of your content. I like to watch it with I like to listen to it with my friend Girno and Ahmed on Discord VC.
Oh, did you? I think you might have popped in the thing the other day, and you were like, "Oh, we watch you on Discord, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's very cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just a huge fan.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very cool. All right, very cool. Are you streaming it right now with your friends?
Oh no, but I might. We like to watch your videos that you upload on YouTube already.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's hard
we're
to catch
watching
like a
the
live stream.
Christian stuff.
Oh yeah,
And reacting to that.
I just started doing that again. I think I'm on 64 now. I got to do.
Yeah, he just released a new episode, Geno Samuel.
I know. I saw that today. I was like, holy
Just
shit,
keep dropping them.
I know. I don't know how there's so much content to make. I feel like he hasn't made one in such a long time, and now he's been pumping them out ever since I started making the reviews again. So I got to catch myself up and get everything caught up.
He's almost done. He's finally on 2019. So
That's it.
just a couple more years to go.
He's only on 2019. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Shit.
he just got to 2019.
Wow, he's fucking what a slacker.
For real.
All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I want to see
yeah.
what the other people have to say.
Yeah.
Have a good one, bro.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. Oh shit.
Damn. Gino's got to catch up, motherfucker. What the hell? I'll pull a few more people in here. Pull a few more peeps in here. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's up? Roll Tide, brother. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. What's up?
Okay, so I'll let you pick since I have two topics I want to talk about.
Okay.
I'll let you pick
Thank
trans or about how potentially Democrats are pushing away center-left people to the to the conservative side.
Those are two very. One topic is very vague and one is very specific. I mean, to their second point, I mean, sure, that's happening, and I also think that there are conservatives who are pushing people in the opposite direction. I think it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't
I
know if
just think,
you want to do a quick trans discussion. Sure, what's up?
yeah, sure. So what I think is surprising is that I am someone who wants to understand about trans people. I'm very trans affirming, but I
Okay.
think that we don't talk about genetics, like geneticists. My one friend is a geneticist,
Okay.
and he talked to me about why Democrats or Republicans don't really bring up about some of the factors that play into why people come out as trans, and one of that is the SRY gene, the SARA gene,
Okay.
which has a huge factor in uh, male anatomy, male appearances, and everything. And sometimes that gene, it's not researched like heavily, but what he told me is that with the research they have come to talk about, and they've so far concluded without like they didn't do much research, is that sometimes what happens is that men that are born with it, sometimes it doesn't fully go through. So or sometimes it doesn't trigger. So that's why there's potential where a man has a feeling that he is in the wrong body and wants to change his gender to a female because the SR gene did not do its job. And
Possible.
I was thinking, okay, well, I don't know why we don't talk about
Well,
that when debating conservatives.
it sounds the reason why it seems is because like even by your friend's admission that it's not fully fleshed out concept yet.
Mhm.
So that one, if it becomes more fleshed out, then that would be something that would be talked about. But I also don't know if a lot of progressives will talk about it because then the conservative response will be, oh well, why don't we just subsidize that whatever issue there is with that gene with hormone treatment or something. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think that different people have different reasons for being trans. I don't think that it's just a gene necessarily. It could have to do with like hormone washing in the womb. It could have something to do with genetics. It could have some part to do with like environmental factors. I think that there's a lot there to be explored. But I think
Yeah,
most
I agree with
progressives
that.
focus on treatment more than anything else. Like, what's the best treatment? And if I've talked to a trans, like a therapist who deals with trans people, and even they said that like they like to explore, and I think this is common. We don't really know about it too much, or we don't talk about it a lot. That they'll explore the concept of not changing your gender if you have gender dysphoria potentially, because everybody is different. Some people who have gender dysphoria actually might do better off not having some kind of like gender affirming surgery, and sometimes it's better to have them align closer with their like sex, depending on the person. That doesn't happen too often, but
Yeah.
that can be the treatment. They might need more testosterone or estrogen. It might level them out. Maybe they have a hormone imbalance. We don't really know. So
Yeah, well, that's my entire thing is because I play with a bunch of people from Louisiana. They're big LSU guys, and they're very conservative. So I have my friend who we went to high school together, and he's very liberal as well. And we try to like because they're very anti-trans, so we try to like convince them and say like, hey, we have some like proof because they always go to like that Ben Shapiro argument like, oh, biology. Men are men and women are women. It can, and biology is just a factor of what it is, and trans people just have mental illness. And I'm like, I don't know if
but you can engage with that argument and you probably win them over.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, first of all, okay, so gender dysphoria, I think it's still in the DSM-5, so I guess technically it might be a mental disorder. But I think that they might have also reclassified it as a sexual health condition, at least in like the World Health Organization. Either way, the first thing we start with is just because somebody has a mental disorder, potentially, doesn't mean that they're like fundamentally a bad person. I think like ADHD might be considered a mental disorder. I think it's in the DSM-5. Could be wrong. Autism, things like that. Like just because you have a particular thing doesn't make you an instant bad person. So somebody has something that's going on, and it might even be misclassified. But let's say you have an issue, like some kind of an issue, like mental issue, we'll say. Now the question is like, what's the best way to lead that person to an outcome of success? And so there's nothing that suggests that the best way to go, at least for most people who have gender dysphoria, is to just be happy in their own body. Like it's an impossibility for them to be happy because they're massively depressed to a point where it makes it harder for them to function. They have drastically increases of suicide attempt rates. So clearly there needs to be another solution. And the solution, when anybody has any issue at all, like from a medical perspective, the goal is to get them to make it so that they can be as happy as possible and as functioning in our society as possible without any harm to anybody else being done, right? That's why we don't let pedophiles fuck kids, because that puts harm on our society. But when it comes to a trans person identifying as a different gender, that doesn't hurt society. So then you focus on like what's the treatment method with the best possible outcome, and that's usually trans affirming care for somebody. That's where you would want to like operate rather than saying like, oh, biology, because it's totally possible for the brain to just not have grown correctly or something to happen where it just isn't like your brain just doesn't really match your body. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, I understand that, and I totally agree. The thing is that like it's really hard to engage with them first because they don't watch like mainstream conservative news like Fox News, because Fox News is very easily you can debunk that stuff. They watch like very niche stuff,
Like
like they'll watch
OAN, yeah.
Matt Walsh. They'll watch like, and the thing is like, I remember them bringing an article from like a conservative thing saying, "Oh, majority of predators in America are trans." I'm like, dude, that's fucking wrong.
That's
like,
definitely not true.
And I was like, "Can you give me the article?" And I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know where to go and search for that. Like, I don't know. Do I have to go to the FBI like database and search?"
There's definitely no article that says that most. Like, I don't even know where they got that from. They probably misheard something Matt Walsh said because his goal was to say that without saying it. You know what I mean? Like a dog whistle. Like he was trying to say that like trans people are predators, but like he probably said it in a way that could be interpreted by transphobic people that way. But to most other people, it would be interpreted as a more reasonable take. It's usually how like dog whistles will work.
Yeah, and it's like that's the thing is that I really think that maybe scientists should do more research into transgenderism and see if there is anything science related to it, so that we can debunk like the pseudoscience.
I think
not the pseudoscience.
I think
but
that
like,
they do.
Well, I don't see it much when like Democrats, like even like online debaters, do it. Like I don't see people like Trevor Noah when he debates like Republicans or anything like really bring science into it. Like
yeah,
that.
well, I
So
think it's a
feel
very
like,
new. I think it's a really new science field, so people are like edged or
Yeah.
are looking into it, but there's not a whole lot there. I think most of what we know is that like it doesn't just like work out perfectly.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I mean? We're kind of operating based off of how we're supposed to treat people based on like having a particular condition. That's where we're kind of starting off with. So,
Yeah. But like right now, what I'm trying to do is just like I like okay, fine. I don't have like I tell them like yes, I don't have like the entire science because it's a new field, but I want to just like give them like hey, let them do what they want. Like as long as they're not hurting anyone, it's not your not your place to tell them what they can do and what they can't do.
yeah,
And it's I know it's hard, but
get
I just want to talk about that.
yeah. Anyway, let me move on to the next person. I do appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah.
All right? Take
All
care. Right?
Bye, man.
Right.
Take care.
Next person in here. I'll take a few more calls if you guys want to pop in. What's going on? How are you?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. What's up?
Hey, that's awesome, man. Nothing. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to say, like, you know, I really enjoy your content. Really good background shit for me to listen to while I'm doing other stuff.
Thank you.
I think you got, yeah. I think you're really funny, and
Thank you.
you know, for the most part, you got really good takes, and I don't know. You seem like a pretty chill guy overall, and that's all. I just wanted to say that, you know, I appreciate you being a YouTuber and doing what you do, man.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
keep doing that.
I appreciate you watching me, because if you didn't watch me, I wouldn't be a YouTuber.
Yeah, exactly, man. All right, that's all. All right,
man.
See you later.
Thank you for stopping by. Take care.
Take care, man. Yeah.
Peace. Man, this game is getting my ass fucking pickled. Hello?
Hello?
What's up?
What's up, Papa Gut?
How are you?
The Beast Titan.
Yes, the Beast Titan. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say that first, I'm really glad to hear that you're doing the Chris Chan documentary thing again.
Thank you. It seems to be a fan favorite.
Yeah, I started that recently, and I saw you only got up to like 63 a while back. Right?
I know. I did 62. I did 62 of them, and then I just did the 63rd like yesterday or the day before that.
Yeah. Oh man. So I'm really happy that that you're doing that. But I also wanted to say that I do really appreciate you being a content creator. I first found you a really long time ago. Whenever you exposed the peppermint guy.
Peppermint. Gemini official. Yeah.
Gemini. Yes, Gemini. I didn't want to say his name because I didn't want to confuse him with the other Gemini guy.
Oh, Freak the Gemini? Yeah. Definitely not the same person, yeah.
Definitely not. So I was, I believe, 18 when I first discovered you. I'm 20 now. I'm going to be 21 in a few months.
All right, very cool.
And I just wanted to tell you that I really appreciate content. It really helped me grow as a young man.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because I found you when I was 18. I definitely was going through some stuff. I definitely did not have like a really good grasp on a lot of social issues and like what it means to be like a real man and like just social awareness when it comes to like stuff with how you should treat women and hold yourself, right? And you definitely helped a lot when it came to that stuff growing up these past few years or so.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate your what's the word I'm looking for? The confidence you have in me. I really do appreciate that. I'm happy that I can have a positive impact. I do appreciate that.
Oh yes, most definitely, and I definitely have spread the word to my friends in like the past year or so, and I'll ask them what they're doing. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching some Papa Gut."
Very,
very
nice.
Cool.
That's it's so interesting to hear like that. Some people could just be like, "Yeah, I'm watching Papa Gut." You know what I mean? That's so a weird thing. Yeah. Like a random person. Yeah. That's very cool. It's very cool. It's just like it's so surreal to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really proud and just like happy to the amount of I guess the success and fame you've reached over the past few years and stuff.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I couldn't because I found you on TikTok just on my For You page as one does, and you're still at one of your jobs. And
yeah, I was at my last job. I was still like I was still working at the bus company.
Yeah, and you made one of your out of pocket jokes, and I thought they were pretty funny. And then you started the podcast, and I'm like, wow, this Papa Gut guy, this Papa Gump.
My out of pocket joke. Yeah. I was making like a lot of jokes on TikTok, but then I would do like social issues when I would pop over here.
Yeah, I'm like, this Papa Gump's he's really insightful on some stuff, right? And when I'd have issues with things in my personal life that I did not know how to move forward from or move about, you would like release a podcast or make a video on TikTok that like genuinely helped me. I will forever be like genuinely appreciative of that.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you saying that, and I'm happy that I could like help out. You know what I mean? It does make me feel nice as a content creator when you hear stuff like that. So I appreciate that a lot. I know I keep saying I appreciate it, but I don't know what else to say. I really do.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine. You're one of the most humble and like I guess like I don't know what the right word is, but like human content creator, influencer. Like you have a lot of content creators. There's like at a certain point, there's like a real disconnect, right?
Yeah. Well, once I get more popular, I'll become that guy. You know what I mean? Once I get, then I could sell out and I could be disconnected.
Yeah.
We just gotta wait till just gotta
Papa
wait.
Fresh.
Exactly. Once we hit Papa Fresh, then all of a sudden I'll completely change for the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I get that Supreme sponsorship,
have a podcast with Hassan eventually.
Yeah, that's something. I don't think I'd ever want to do that, but I don't mean to rush you. But I'm gonna. I do appreciate you stopping by. I'm just gonna move on to the next person. But no, I don't mean to rush you. I really do appreciate you stopping by and for the kind words.
Yes, it was. I'm really glad to have talked to you, and I hope that you have a really good day. I appreciate. Again, I appreciate everything that like you've done for me in like my personal life and stuff, and continue making you great content.
Well,
I'm excited to see the more Christian stuff.
Yes, hopefully today I'll bang another Christian out.
All right, you have a good day, Papa Gut.
Take care. All right, do a couple more. Do a few more, then I will do some content. Hello. What's going on?
Not much, mate. It's about 10:21 in the morning on Monday. How are you?
Damn, what time did you say it is? 10:21?
10:21 in the morning on Monday.
Wow. Damn, you're in the future. Yeah. It's 8:20 at night on a Sunday here.
Australia really do be in the future. That's why we got so many spiders and snakes.
Hey, well, fuck. I'd like to let them stay in the future then, because I don't like them.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What do you got for me today?
So just I guess I was in the stream yesterday for that video. I think the kid was bad faith, 100%. There was no other side of the coin.
Which one is that?
The problems with the LGBT.
Yeah, you're talking about the video review I did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So to say that you were being uncharitable to the other side is ridiculous, and I just kind of wanted to state that because that guy really wasn't listening to any other side of the coin either.
I figure if you're referring to the guy that I was talking to today, I figure after a little bit, maybe it'll take a couple of years to understand what I was saying. Sometimes it just clicks after a long time, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You tell me first since you're in the future, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm 26, so I think lots of years of growing and changing definitely does help. I think when you're younger, you're very influenced by what you watch and what you consume, and it depends on the circles that you're in as to what you're going to hear sociopolitically. I was involved in hardcore and punk, so which is always left leaning. So I've always sort of been on that side of the spectrum, and that's kind of where my question would lie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think someone who is pro Antifa, pro pretty much every LGBT right, can still be, I would say, so basically saying extreme left, could still be, I guess, have their questions regarding things like neo-pronouns and, the use of certain words that can be slurs in certain contexts, but used amongst friends is more so a joke. I'm not talking about racial slurs. I'm talking more about like me and my mates. Some of us are queer identifying, I guess.
Okay.
And so we'll drop the F slur with each other and call each other, and we just think it's funny. You know what I mean? But
sure.
Like I'm literally going to Antifa rallies and stuff like that as well. I wouldn't be calling someone who is,
Are you asking if it's possible to be like a leftist that also doesn't agree with every leftist thing?
Yeah. And also,
I mean, in general, sure.
Do you think an online perception of that? It seems this is what it seems like to me, and I wonder if it seems like it to you. You do find people that sort of market themselves as being, more to the extreme left and progressive, etc., aren't willing to try to understand that, yes, while you can hold those beliefs, you can also just understand that a joke's a joke. Not everything in life is so serious. You don't have to be, on this constant train of essentially trying to flex your leftism to look good to all the
I get what you're
kids at
saying.
home.
Some of them might be little virtues. I would say yeah, sure. I don't know if I personally would hold the defense of like, hey, like, and like you do you and your friend group. I'm not shitting on you, but I think it would be hard to convince people of like, yeah, I should be able to like say the F slur or whatever. But I also think that people that are more lefty tend to already agree that like if you're part of a particular group, then like you using the word is whatever. So I don't think it matters too much. Like if you're gay and you're calling people the F slur, it's like whatever. Usually you're doing it just to be like silly with your friends. Like I have gay friends that say it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just think more as like because I'm starting to do streams and stuff like that, and look, I know it's antagonistic to put the Antifa logo.
I would personally
on my stream, but
I would try to stay away from it like on stream. So here's the thing. Like there's obviously, generally speaking, there's the way that you talk to people, and then there's the way to talk to like your friends. Obviously, that's very different. When it comes to streaming, it's hard to communicate, especially instantaneously, to people the way that you are in general. Like it takes a while to get comfortable with somebody. I would personally like stay away from that kind of stuff. I don't think it's like worth the fight to throw down the F slur. There might be some people who would be offended by it, and I think that like that's reasonable for them to be offended. So you might just want to stay away from doing it like that in a public setting, which I consider streaming to an extent a more public setting.
It's like a public forum. Yeah. My other question would be, and it's just I guess this would be my last question. You've mentioned like metal and punk kids a lot, and that as being involved in metal and punk, and knowing that you're in sort of the New York area. I'm kind of intrigued. Like, Are there any like New York bands that you're hugely into?
Not at all. Like I'm not like an indie guy at all. Like I like some metal. I don't really listen to that much music anymore. But like I used to be into
Cannibal Corpse. They're Buffalo. You've got Internal Bleeding.
Well, I always liked I liked power metal more than like I guess you'd like
hell yeah.
Is it like grunge metal? Is that what it is? I don't know if there's a lot of New York power metal bands. Like they're mostly like I guess what do you call it? Slavic? Is that what you'd say? Or Scandinavian? Is that what you'd say? Yeah, like,
there's a lot of death metal. There's a lot of hardcore is the biggest thing out of New York. Like you got like Biohazard and Cro-Mags and
you see, I'm not a huge death metal fan. That's the thing. I've always been like a bigger like Camelot, Epica, stuff like that. I think like Blind Guardian. Those are the kinds of bands that I've been into. But I'm not super active in like looking for bands. Like I'm not like a big metalhead anymore where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go find this band and watch this and that, the other thing. I'm very boring. So
fair enough. Well, thanks for having me on. Love your content, and we should game up and play some WoW and blast Valhalla.
All right. Well, listen, I'm on Sulfurous. I think that's what it is. Alliance. So if you're playing Classic,
I'm Horde, man. I'm Horde on purpose. The singer of Cannibal Corpse puts in every liner notes of every album. Fuck the Alliance.
That's fucked up.
He's also an NPC. He's an NPC in the game too.
Is he? That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Horde paladin.
Anyway, have a good one.
Take care, man. Take care.
Sorry, man. All the best.
Hey, no problem. All right, we'll get a couple more. Then because I want to do a little bit of content today, of course. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry.
No
I just got done with an Overwatch game. We lost, and so
that's
like
unfortunate. Is it on Overwatch 1 or 2?
Oh my god, you're speaking to me. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's no problem.
It's 1. I did the beta. It wasn't that great in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it makes sense to keep playing since you get to like maintain your skins on the first game anyway.
Oh no, they transfer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're better off not playing the beta because like, you don't earn shit in beta, right? It's just to fuck around.
That's true. Okay, so I have 3 things I want to say. God. Okay, sorry, I've been watching you for like so long. So like, you're like the first person ever talk about like young women dating older men, and I have that problem the longest time, like ever since like 4th grade. I would date 6 years older than me, and I didn't realize it was a problem until you started talking about it. To be like, I knew it was a problem, but I didn't realize it was like kind of needed like treatment for it in a sense. So I started going to therapy for it.
Well, that's a good thing. Yeah.
You kind of like sparked the idea.
It's funny it's funny. My wife was the one who was like talking about that with me. And that's why, because she's like, yeah, it's weird because I never really thought about it like this. She's like, yeah, when I was younger, I would talk to older guys too. And she's like, obviously we need to educate the bad people, which are like the older men, to not do that stuff. But then also some of the older men, like you said, 6 years. So some of them are just stupid and they think what they're doing is appropriate, even if it's not. Or at the end of the day, some of them are just bad and you really can't get bad people to stop being bad. So sometimes you have to teach people to like, unfortunately, defend themselves basically and try to disengage themselves from being in that situation.
And like while I was 13, it would be like 20-year-olds. So like
those are bad guys.
Yeah,
those are definitely bad guys. But it's weird. Like it's like it doesn't feel like you're being. I don't want to use too much low language. It doesn't feel like they're doing anything wrong when you're there. Like you don't realize it when you're younger. Yeah, I think that's one of the things people don't realize. I feel like it's hard to communicate to a young person why it's so bad for that older person to be interacting with them like that, especially since we usually teach kids to respect their elders. So like there's just a whole lot of weird shit going on where it makes it difficult for people to realize that they're getting taken advantage of sometimes.
Oh my god! Sorry, I love you so much. Well, like I don't love you, but like
No, I know what you
love
mean.
Your content.
I appreciate that.
And another thing, the one last thing I want to say is that so like a little backstory. So like my mom's disabled, and my dad's in jail. He's been in and out of jail my entire life. Like I know who he is. I know you don't, but like I do. But he's just like in and out, And so, my issue is that like, so like my mom can't work because she's like stuck on the program. She's like, I don't think I can handle the long job, and if due to my disability, and I know they're gonna take away my thing once I start working.
It's rough. Yeah, you end up losing benefits, and sometimes it doesn't outweigh it. It's an unfortunate aspect of like the way that our benefit system works. Yeah.
and like I started working, like I just turned 16 and I started working like instantly, and I've been getting this like I take the bus and like because we don't have a car, and so I take the bus, I go to like and out, I get home at 11 sometimes, and I have school and stuff like that, and so like I don't know, like to listen to you on the bus ride home is just very relaxing and stuff like that. And I'm in Washington, Seattle, and like oh my god, people are awful. Like it's really bad, and like just it's scary. And so it was really it's like you're comforting, and I just really appreciate that. And yeah, like
Well,
I love when you say people are like terminally online.
I appreciate that I can help you get through the bus ride, because that's got to be a pain in the ass.
It smells, it's dark, it's scary, and like a guy asked me, do you want some weed? And I was like, oh no, thank you. And
yeah, definitely try to stay away from that. I'm not a weed fan, at least, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate you stopping by, obviously, and definitely keep on doing your thing. I mean, working, I know it's got to be a little tough working and going to school and all that, but it ends up just helping you develop like a really solid work ethic. So you're gonna end up benefiting out of it in the long run.
Thank you. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate that. You take care, all right?
Bye.
Have a good one. All right. Should that be the last person I talk to, guys? Should I stop right before accepting a conversation from the person who's been begging to talk to me in the chat the whole time? Should I stop now? Should I stop right now? Just right before I talk to Dr. Legos? That's the next person in the queue. Should I stop right before talking to Dr. Legos? Let's see. Should I should I skip over Dr. Legos? I'm just kidding. Let me get you in here, brother. Let me get you in here. What's going on?
Papa Gut, you have no idea how much of a fan I am of you.
Well, I probably don't, but I appreciate that.
You're like the greatest.
Thank you. Thank you. So what's up?
Okay, so I wanted to speak to you about fucking gay people.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so here we go. So basically, how that other guy earlier was talking about how that one YouTuber that you did the video on, and how he was basically policing how gay people can respond to criticism or hate.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, like, I feel like no one has the right to, say anyone can react to anything in any way besides how that person decides, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was just thinking about that, and it was kind of shitty. And the guy was kind of, running in circles when you guys had that debate. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I was just trying to communicate to him because I don't think he's a bad person I was talking to. I think that there are some instances where you can like be a little bit, for lack of a better term, policing of someone's reaction. But as long as it's unreasonable. Like if somebody said, haha, gay people are feminine, and then you respond with like, you should take a knife and slit your wrist, that's probably disproportionate, obviously. But like, if you're being hateful to like a gay person, even if it's just a joke to you, but it's like really invalidating of who they are, like, yeah, it's reasonable for them to respond and be like, I don't like this. This is shitty. I agree with that, which was my point in that thing.
Right. Well, that's anything, right? Like, I mean, anybody could say anything hurtful to you, and you can respond, equally as hurtful, or you could come up with another way to respond, or
yeah, it's just weirdly unreasonable to like have the expectation of somebody responding as like super nicely. I mean, it's bizarre because I'm not gonna usually respond super nicely to criticism I will. Well, not criticism, but like hatefulness. When people are like hateful of me, I'll usually try to embarrass them a little bit, be an asshole to them. You know what I mean? Like I know that might not be right, but if you're like disrespectful, I'll disrespect you back.
They're asking for it.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
Like Sneeko, for example.
Yeah, sure.
like how Sneeko's fucking talking over you, saying all this horse shit, and then you say something that actually debunks him, or says something that actually like fucking defaults his argument, and then he has nothing to say, and then he'll just default into insulting you, like calling you fat or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's right. I am fat, but that doesn't exactly help the argument.
Yeah. I just, yeah, that's all. Well, I think you're super cool, man. I'm not, I'm a relatively new viewer. I found you on TikTok as well.
Oh, very
but,
cool.
Since I've been watching you, I have not disagreed with any of your takes, and I think of you as a very solid human being.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I do. I actually do. I don't know if that came off sarcastic. I do appreciate that.
Oh, no, dude. No, yeah, totally.
All right, man. Well, you take care, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me on. Sorry for fucking spamming in chat. I just wanted to say, talk to you.
Yeah. No worries. No worries at all. I was just poking fun because I knew that you were next up, so I was just goofing on you a little bit. I didn't take it like it didn't upset me or anything at all.
All right.
You take care.
Yeah, all right, dude. Fuck yeah. See you.
Well, that was abrupt. OG Goth Mommy is mentioned in the Craig Beckett video you watched. I'd like to speak with you. Let me pee really quick, and I'll pull her in next since she was in the video. Since she's a celebrity. She gets dips. Good. It's a good wiener. A wee wiener. God damn it. I meant to say that was a good wee. I took a pee, and I said it was a good wiener, because wee is also another word for wiener. My brain does weird things sometimes. All right. There we go. Hello?
I got. What is up, my dude?
How are you?
I am great. I am actually really stoked to be here because love your content, bro.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So what's up?
I didn't get to see your coverage of because I live out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt.
Okay, Egypt. You said Egypt?
Yeah, bumfuck.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was like a bumfuck Egypt.
Yeah. No, I live out in the country.
Okay.
I ain't got internet right now, so yeah. But I ain't been able to get YouTube to really work. But what was your take on the whole like Craig Beckett and all that stuff? Because I heard that there wasn't anything like negative about it.
What do you mean? Like nothing negative about it? What was my take on the Craig Beckett thing? Like the situation where like that 29-year-old guy was like flirting with a 17-year-old and getting sexual images from him?
Well, like as it relates to like me and Tip, I guess, like how that thing happened with us.
Well, I mean, I think it's shitty. I think what he did was shitty. I think it's always a big red flag with anybody who's that much older than somebody talks to somebody that's much younger. I think from a moral perspective, what he did was wrong. Unfortunately, in his country, it's legal to do what he did. So the bigger criticism really needs to be put onto like that system, because that's just not something that should be happening. It shouldn't be legal for that to happen. I think a lot of people are conditioned by their environment, and so part of the motivation for somebody to talk to somebody who's 17 when they're 29 is because it is legal, so it is okay. Like that's their argument. So I don't think that guy, I wouldn't interact with that person. I think that he's weird. I also think it was weird that he seems to be into like a weird little girl fetish or something, because he keeps like referring to her as this young little schoolgirl. I think that's a huge red flag.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And like a fan and stuff. Like he has a god complex from hell. It's like, have you seen the meme of that dog coming out of like the like it's coming out of like a lake and it's just going like like that was pretty much my reaction to all of his fucking DMs with this chick.
Yeah, I think it's gross. I also think it's gross that his wife or girlfriend was running so much support for him.
Ex-girlfriend now.
Oh well, I wonder why. I mean, clearly she's too old for him. So
yeah.
So that's why you shouldn't be so much of a ride or die. You know.
But yeah, I heard that I came up, like my tweets came up.
Oh, were your tweets in the video?
Coverage.
Yeah, I watched.
I think so.
I watched Repzilla's video. I did like.
Okay.
So he probably mentioned it in his. So then, yeah, yours came up.
Let's go.
Very cool.
And I love how you said I'm like a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I literally just blacked out and got knelt on by Bo Blacks. So.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well,
that's kind of the only reason that I'm really known.
Oh, you know what? It could be worse than getting knelt on by Bo Blacks. You know, he's a nice guy, so it's they say bad coverage is still coverage, right?
It is, so, and I'm gonna ride the wave, man.
There you go.
May as fucking well.
Yeah, right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, just wanted to come on and chat with the old Papa Gut. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well,
I'm a big fan,
well,
as everyone else has said.
I appreciate that.
Your bass is fuck.
Thank you very much. I haven't heard bass in a while. People tell me I'm too much of a lefty now, so bass doesn't come up. Bass doesn't come up enough. But I appreciate that. I definitely do.
Oh yeah, man.
All right.
Talk to you later.
You too. Take care. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.